G'day guys, we're here on the beach again and we're working on the picture that we're playing around with, going on about jeepers 24 hours ago. Now it'll take a very keen eye to see what this piece is. At the moment it's too wild, it's too rough. But we've only got about 4 or 5 of the pigments in there that we want to have to make this picture really come alive. So let's get started. Let's add in some greens, add in some yellows, and see where we can take this picture. Wherever you are in the world, it might be Sunday where you are, I think, or you might be on my watch, which means this is a Monday for you. Either way, welcome on in here and let's have some fun. Now, let me get this other little camera sorted and we'll be away, team. We'll be absolutely away. Nina, welcome on in, and Ivan, always lovely to see you. Let's have a little look-see here. So get this camera set up, if I can put it in the right spot. Here we go. Just sneaking around behind here. There we go. There we go. Almost ready, team. Last finishing touches. And maybe we'll just lift up this just a wee bit. There we go. Perfect. Ideal. Now, how are we sitting there? Probably a bit far away, team. Come on forward with me. Oh hey, 5 p.m. in Florida. Welcome on in. And anxiety is followed on. I like that. Okay. That's all going to make sense shortly, team. Hello to Alabama. Welcome on in. There we go. Put that like that. Just making sure all these things are arranged the way we want them. We might even be able to afford to bring you a bit closer, team. I don't want you guys feeling like you're left out. There we go. Lovely. Now, that's all going to make sense in just a second, I swear. Hooks. Tools. Yeah. Voila. How clever is that? I feel clever. Connor Bubble, welcome from Ireland, welcome on in. And who else do we have here? Ooh, Chicago, mi amigo. Right. Our first plate is this delightful cheese board, which is going to be pretty exciting. And we'll see what we can make with it. Just wonder if I don't want to readjust this one. Ooh. Luckily I checked it. You guys were about to fall. You guys were right on the cusp of falling off. Saved your life. Here we go. I can go on there. Da 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 da. There we go. Whew. Okay, let's get started. We're going to go for a thicker brush to begin with. It's a good place to start. Blue is my colour. I think we've already kicked off with a bit of blue. I think we're going to move into greens. Greens are what we're going to need. Spin this one around. How clever is that post? It's clever. All right. Jules. Today we're painting a lion. Tiger. So if you look really carefully, you might start to see elements of tiger coming in through here, and the forest coming up. Just the light and the ground. Let me bring it closer here. Here we go. Just to there. Maybe around this way a little bit actually. There we go. How's that, team? I might even straighten it up a little bit. And semi. That's fantastic if you can. You should. You could make a lot of people really happy. You know, the one thing you want to think about this too, especially when it comes to art, is if you saw a skyscraper and all that had happened was you dug the columns into the ground and there was no building there yet, anyone who could dig a hole would walk past and say, I could build that, wouldn't they? But would they be correct? Because there's a lot of stages to a skyscraper. It's not always that simple. But if you can build a skyscraper, you absolutely should. Instead of just digging holes. Classic question, how tall is he? I'm 6 foot in high heels. I hope the tide's going out. I love gingers because if it's coming in, we could be in trouble. I think it's going out. Hey Robert, how you doing? And great eye. If you can see a tiger, you've got a great eye. Because it is early in the piece and it should be quite abstract at this stage. The waves sound like thunder. The tide's right behind me, so they're crashing. 50% of the live goal was completed. Celebrate this moment. Alright. Alright. Well, that's exciting. Sounds like I made it too easy. might be ready. Or we might be ready for more bada bing black. I think we might need some more black. Mitch! That's exactly where it is. Right there. Here's our tiger. The woods behind him, or her. And these massive trees ground below. See a waterfall? I love that. I love that. The picture's kind of important. It, in a lot of cases, acts like a parlay, an anchoring point to make sure there's a something bringing you back to a central idea rather than just going crazy and losing full control. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome on in. Mystic Monkey, lovely to have you here. You love this, I'm glad. And who else have we got here? Do you let some parts dry then come back to it? Sammy, absolutely. So this paint will dry rapidly. It's got this little liquid here, quick dry medium. So by using that on this cheese board, some of the colours will set. So within 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I can come back to the same areas and keep going over the top. Hello to the US. Who's that? Solar Punk? Morena, Ashley? Where in the world? Where in New Zealand are you at today, Ashley? Hey Taylor, how we doing? I've made my mind up, team. After this, definitely going back to black. Or blues. Or black with a bit of blue. One of these combinations. I don't normally work with pastels, but I love pastel paint. Love it. Love working with pastel paint. Your pastel pinks, coral pinks, pastel blues. Pacific blues, Pacific blues. Lumo Star, where are you in New Zealand? We are at a place called Hatfields Beach actually. We're in North Auckland. The tide's all the way in, but it's on the way out. And there's been a bit of a storm recently. Storm, weather condition, because there's seaweed all down the beach, which typically means there's been some activity. Little girl, you're in Auckland too. Well, hope you're enjoying Auckland. You know, the weather today, although it is slightly gloomy, like it feels cold, as if it might rain, it's completely still. So it is the perfect day to come out here to make art. And if you're in another part of the world, like Cindy, it might be 5:20 yesterday on the East Coast. This is Monday in New Zealand, by the way, guys. So, yeah. Oh, cheers, Cindy. It just popped in to see my smiling face. Well, saying things like that makes me have a smiling face. So, I'm glad you could find your way in. Now, I'm not abandoning you guys, but I'm gonna head up to the car briefly, because I want to grab my coffee. There's half a shot left in it, and I feel like it, so I'm gonna grab that. Thanks, little girl, appreciate the hand hearts. Plover, you're a legend. Whereabouts in Auckland? North, baby, north. I'm coming back. Cheers, guys, one moment. Oh. It's a beach. We share that beach, and sometimes dogs come down the beach. I like dogs. Even vocal dogs. I'm a dog guy. I definitely prefer dogs over cats. I know that's a controversial opinion, but even though cats have some amazing qualities, the love and the abundant love of a dog, that's something very special. I wouldn't, I love dogs. I love dogs. It's that simple. It's that plain and simple. There we go. Splicing that black with just a little bit of blue. Going to give us a little bit deeper. Sometimes you need that extra little bit of depth in those dots. Sometimes one raw colour doesn't quite cut the mustard. You need to. Ow, it is cold. it's okay. I get the feeling the sun might just peek out and bask us in warmth with a bit of luck. If it doesn't, that's totally okay too. You gonna grab a blanket so you can watch? Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I'll sit here shivering away painting for you, and you curl up in a nice, snug blanket. I'm having you on. My partner likes Australian Shepherds. She was telling me the other day. I'm a fan, I like Golden Retrievers, but I think my favourite, I like the intelligence of Border Collies. I think in dogs, even though dogs have a varying array of intelligence, and I think I like the intelligence of Border Collies, how they think. You can see them planning ahead, thinking the whole time. Robert, I'll catch you later. Thanks for coming on in, Robert. I appreciate that. Brenda likes Border Collies, she works with them on farms. That makes sense too. They make excellent farm dogs. Largely due to that level of intelligence. G'day guys, how are we doing?
Good.
That's good, that's good. Voice needs to be on the news. You know, a lot of people get their news these days from TikTok, so in a weird way, maybe we're already broadcasting. Maybe this is a live weather channel. It's not raining, but it's kind of in between. It's a little bit brisk. If someone was waking up in Auckland, in the north of Auckland, this would give them a good idea of what to expect the weather to be like for the rest of the day. So I think unbeknownst to you, you've stumbled onto a weather channel. My German Shepherd is so smart and beautiful. They are. German Shepherd is up there too, but they have the longer coats, don't they? And so you need to take care of them. Their coats much more. Do you? Or am I just dreaming? Maybe I'm just completely wrong. Carefully. Pal Mark, thanks for coming on in. I was watching one of your videos of the doubtful sounds, and the explanation is the best. Thanks, Sammy, I appreciate that. That was an absolutely incredible trip. So the company was called Real NZ. And the goal is to capture doubtful sounds in a certain art form, mine being painting. And I think we did an incredible job. I was nervous because I only had one surface and 72 hours to make it. So there wasn't really room for mistakes. And it was very fortunate. It's very fortunate and made me very happy that actually we did thread the needle. And the end result was absolutely nice. I love what we made, team. I think it's really special. But it wasn't without massive risk. You don't get random sporadic artwork like that without massive amounts of risk. And I'm lucky it came together. Such a gorgeous landscape. Luke, the ocean's coming. It is. You know, New Zealand is an island nation. 5 million people, about the same size as Chicago, if not smaller. 5 million people floating around in the South Pacific on a tiny little island. Tiny little island. And we have a lot of coast. So this is one of the many coasts around New Zealand. One of the many. What? Need to visit? Everyone needs to visit New Zealand, guys. This is such a good place to go. You know, I was actually planning to paint a few more New Zealand sites of places I think it'd be worthwhile you guys to visit if you did come to New Zealand. I think that'd be fun. The Milford Track, if you can. It'd take a lot of timing, but if you can, the Milford Track is incredible. And then you've got the Doubtful Sounds, obviously. The Hawkdung Range in the South Island. Another amazing place that we have. And I'll just keep going through these sites, expressing them one by one. For you guys to enjoy. Tuahine? No, I'm totally fine. But I'm glad you like the painting. Thanks for joining on in. I did paint it on t-shirts on the beach once in my Tobago, but I need to do a lot more. You're a great inspiration. Thanks, Luke. I appreciate that. I'm glad I can be. I hope you make more shirts. Sounds like a lot of fun. Mike, welcome on in. Good to have you here. And how often do you see Dog Man Bear there? Probably like every 3.5 hours, a Dog Man Bear runs past, I'd say, give or take. Howdy. Howdy, Mike. I love that too. Howdy. The good thing about howdy is you can sit with howdy. When you say it, when you say hi, you can't say hi. You have to stop and just say hi. But with howdy, you can sit with it. You can go howdy. You can drag out the ow as long as you like. And I think that's really fun. I think it's really fun to be able to extend a word when you want to make it longer. The Spanish have me gusta. Me gusta. You can make it longer. But you can't in English. I like this. That'd be weird. That's the word I'm looking for. Mike, you've hit the nail on the head. Words with versatile delivery. Howdy has a versatile delivery. Hi does not. A lot of Spanish words you can hold on to. Make them longer. But not English words so much, which is a bit of a pity, all things considered. I want more words that can sit with. I'll write to the Collins Dictionary and say, I want more words like howdy. We can do a collaboration. I can print one of your paintings on a t-shirt and I can do a splash of painting on it after. It's an exciting idea. I like the way you think. Ooh. Sorry guys. The last coffee granules. Welcome on in, T. So, there we go. We're not far off putting down the black too, guys. I think we've had our fun now. Not just yet, but we're at the tail end of our fun. Just on my breath. Just visible. Just visible. To me, and just see. Maddie, welcome on in. It's actually not too bad. I think it looks colder than it is. Not nearly as cold as it's been the last few sets. I wish I'd worn my that sort of casual layer I have, the one that goes over the top. Because it's close around the collar, keeps it warm a bit. But this is fine too. Dress smart, paint smart. I look the part, feel the part. I'll paint the part. That's the plan. Seb, coming in from Chad. I love these moments. Love. Free Chad. Deliver me. Seb, would you agree that the invention of the wheel started a revolution? I don't know, I think it got the whole world turned around. I think after that everything just seems to be spinning. I mean, was it a revolution or are we just going in circles? That's all I've got. Are you in New Zealand? Yes, this is New Zealand. And you love the colours? Thank you so much. It's going to get more and more wild as time goes on, but if you look at it carefully, you'll start to see the jungle coming in with all its wild colours, these sort of tendrils coming down, and a tiger subtly in the environment. So the key thing about this tiger is all the colours in the tiger need to be apparent in the environment around it. I want to show off this tiger with a rainbow of colours, but also make it seem like the hidden king of the jungle. Like it's not standing in a new environment that it doesn't belong in, but it's actually intrinsically part of it, hidden in it, subtle, but the king, if that makes sense. That's what we're after here. So, next colour off the grandstand. Cheers, Mike. Next colour off the grandstand is going to be over red. Aggie sees it. It's subtle, right? It's very subtle. So, there's a million pictures of a tiger. You got me that time, Mark. Mike, that is... Mike, you've been here for over a year. I just called you Mark. I don't know where that came from. I don't even know many Marks. I think I'm just cold and tired. I'm sorry. The paint stand holder's a New Zealand fence post that I bashed into the ground. Yeah. Starts with an M, close enough. That is exactly the attitude I take with my name on the phone and in person. When someone's like, Sid, I'm like, close enough. Yeah. Who's that there? You don't have a name, just 12. It's hard to know what's going on there, but yeah. Patent pending on the fence post. And who's that there? Suzanne Fletch. Welcome on in, Suzanne. Pleasure to have you here. If I can find something to wipe this brush off. I want as little black on the brush as possible to make that red really bright. Sarah! You can see it, Sarah. It is indeed subtly. This painting is mildly abstract. It wants to make you question whether you can or can't see anything in it. It doesn't want to just give you all the information. And I feel like everything's trying to give us information these days. So it's fun to have a piece which is happy to just be wild. And some people will look at this and completely miss the tiger altogether. And that's actually similar to the jungle. Funnily enough, the ones who miss the tiger altogether are the ones who Darwinism probably gets. But anyway. Ba-da-bum bum 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 bum. Ba-da-bum bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum. Ba-ba-da-ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum bum. Let's bring you around the smallest bit, team. Spin you back. There we go. That's a bit of view for you. Perfect. On to the reds. Right. Righty-tighty, Mr. Mighty. Ow. Love to be back. But you feel the cold. It feels cold to watch this. It's actually warmer than you think. It's warmer than you think. Ryan loves the water sounds, welcome on in. It takes time to figure out what it is with this style. And that's kind of the fun. It wants to be 50%, I don't want to say chaos because there's, well, yeah, I don't want to say chaos because I usually do, but I've actually decided, thinking late last night, that that's the wrong word because it's not chaos. Every stroke's very, very intentionally placed. But because of the tool, because of the colours, and because of the way it's put together, it doesn't give you the picture straight away. It's secretive with it. But once you see it, suddenly every stroke in the picture is meaningful and essential. And random strokes, if any, stand out because they don't belong. Every single stroke in this is very, very carefully placed. I look inside the picture and I try and spot shapes, colours and moments. And once I see one, I add it. But that's why we're never working in one place. With this red on my paintbrush, I'm looking for medium grey areas in my black and white image. And every time I see one, I see that shape, that moment, I add it. But it's never slowly working across the canvas. It's wherever I can see one right now. Medium grey, it's down here. Medium grey, it's any tiny bit through here. And this is the first bold colour going into our rainbow tiger. Oh my god, didn't see the tiger till now. So that's part of the fun. That's what I'm saying. The painting doesn't want to give you everything. You have to look for it. It's like, where's Wally but with fine art? Hey ya. Thank you so much. Lovely day for a walk. What do you do with all your paintings? Do you have a few unfinished ones? I do. I've got a few unfinished ones. And there is a few also finished ones. Usually they're all commissions. So they have a home they go into before they're finished. But I try and keep 3 words back with me in my house. Because that, I believe art does have value, guys. It's not just something that you just, collectors just buy for the sake of buying it. It adds something to your life. Like an 8th cup of coffee, you see it every day and it brightens your day. So I can't completely sell out my studio. I have to keep some pieces for me because I want to brighten my own day. So I keep 3, 3, foyer, hallway, bedroom. 1, 2, 3. And then once I go over 3 words, I'll make some originals for sale. But until then, I hold on. This one here is actually late. I put a poll out for what painting we should make to celebrate Pride Month. So now that I tell you that, you'll definitely know we're late. Now, in terms of that, I asked the question, do we want to see a historical figure? Do we want to see a pop culture figure, a famous icon, a flag, rippling? And the votes came in astronomically for Rainbow Tiger. So, this here is the early starts of the most crazily colourful tiger you have ever seen on the web. This is the start of that. So. It's about gently building these pigments up one at a time. And this tiger's going to be absolutely crazy by the time we're finished. It's going to be our rainbow tiger. And one of the special things about this is rather than just doing a straight up tiger face covering the whole canvas, this picture wants to actually celebrate the tiger's natural habitat. A surfer looks silly just standing there. The surfer needs the wave. The tiger would look silly. The tiger needs the jungle. Is that Michael? Hi, Michael. I don't think I am your uncle, but it's lovely to have you here. I'm not an uncle yet. I wish I was, but I'm not. Thank you for pride, tiger. You wait. At the moment, it's just abstract tiger. As we build out more, it'll be crazy tiger. And then once I get all those pigments in there, once I really get this tiger coloured with its purples, its cyans, its yellows, and it's flying off the page, then we'll have our pride tiger. You wait. You wait. The next colour after this is going to be blue. It's gonna be blue. The volume in this jungle up high. Want some of that. There we go. Ho ho. It loves to do that verification thing on me. Thinks I'm not giving you guys enough attention. I do my best. Stacy, just want to say I appreciate you to no end for sharing the live. You absolute champion. There we go. Is that all right? I was just checking on my time lapse. It had stopped. Maybe. My phone storage is full. Let's see. It's gonna get loud. Ah. There we go. La 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 wa da 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 do. Da 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 do. Oh, you know, it's funny sometimes, Dean. Sometimes you get bargains from the second-hand shop. And sometimes, you know, these were they looked brand new when I bought them. You can see there, look at that shoe. That shoe's ruined. I paid $12 for these. Thought it was a great deal. Turns out, I was absolutely wrong. That's okay. But we're on sand, so yeah. Right. Attach that. Let's grab a new brush. Well, what happened to me? The soles fell off. Yeah. Look, trust me, when I bought them from the second-hand shop, they looked brand new. And I thought there'd be some really cool pseudo dress shoes, pseudo slippers, pseudo casual. Turns out they're pseudo busted. Luckily, there's a public bin just up there, so I don't even have to take them home. This is the world we live in. The world we live in. Now, to get the next color, ultramarine blue. Look, honestly guys, I can't believe they gave out on me so fast. I'm surprised. Did not deserve to catch that. It's gonna get there harder. Tuck yourself in. How long did it take? And look, I can tell you that exactly. Cheers, Miss Lester. I can tell you that exactly. It gave out on me exactly as long as this painting set was. This morning is the first morning I've worn them. How tragic. White in there. Keep pumping that brush down a little bit lower. About that time to these sandflies are coming out. Had a cure for that though. Yeah, it's gone, I guess. Goodbye, sandflies. I'm laughing at how you still put them on. It was meant to be. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I shouldn't have been wearing them on the beach anyway, but look, they've given out on me, so we're here now. One sandfly bite that did get me. It is itchy. Armando, welcome on in. Good to have you here. Miss Lester, welcome to the team. I think my personal goal here today, guys, we're here for another hour and 50 minutes. My personal goal is to reach, I know it's ambitious, but to reach 500 team members by the end of the session. If we can do that, that'd be incredible. Excuse me. Sandfly is literally landing on my face. So we won't spray it on my eyes, but we'll get it around my neck here. I don't want bites on my neck, if we can help it. Dark. What for? Oh, that's handy. So there's an orange heart above us there. And if you press it, you join the team. That's pretty fun. I'm learning. Why am I in a suit? Well, technically I'm not in a suit. I'm missing the most important part, the suit. But I'm in this outfit here because when it comes to painting, if you dress like a piece of work, I wanted to say a piece of S, but it's too rude. If you dress like you don't respect yourself or respect your art, that's what you'll get. Imposter syndrome, a lack of respect for yourself and a lack of respect for your art. If you dress like you mean to do something, like you mean to paint, then you bring a different energy to the artwork. I can simplify it down to dress smart, paint smart. And when I come to my artwork, wearing a singlet and, you know, a baggy, worn out singlet with spaghetti stains on it, and I'm wearing a pair of pants which are stained and old and ragged, and flip-flop jandals, I don't paint well. I don't respect myself and I don't respect the painting. But at the moment, guys, to even put it in more perspective, I'm even wearing cologne. You guys can't even tell that. It's for me. It makes me feel the part. It makes me feel good. It's like a firefighter showing up to fight a fire in a fireman's outfit. It's like a policeman doing his job in a policeman's outfit. I paint in this to make proper paintings. That's my little way of doing it. Now, for some people, they may not care at all. But for me, showing up and looking the part, that's everything. Well, everything. It's the best way to try and get a good start. You can never plan everything, but I like to do that. Those jobs are different. They are different, you're right. But there's continuity in the point. And there's a lot of psychological studies that show when you put someone in a uniform, look at the case where the prisoner experiment, a very, very immoral experiment from before ethics were properly instilled in psychology, where they put a bunch of kids, some in, there's a book about it too, some in guard uniforms and some in prisoner uniforms. And what happened? Over a very brief couple of week period, significant changes psychologically in these kids and their behaviour. Now, none of us are above that. None of us, it's not, the point of the experiment wasn't to say that, oh my God, look at these weird kids. It was to say that, oh my God, look at the condition of humanity. And so, if you want to feel more like a role, dress like that role. Don't think that you're above these psychological experiments. If you want to feel more like a policeman, wear a policeman's outfit. If you want to feel more like, feel more purpose in your painting, or feel like you're going to make a masterpiece, if you want to have the audacity to believe that you're going to make something special, dress like that's the case before it's even happened. And its likelihood increases exponentially. Now, I'm not saying that this won't get snapped and thrown in the sea because I'll get upset at it. That could happen. But its chances of becoming something special has been heightened by me. Like, a couple of things here. It's not just the shirt and the pants. I had a shower before I left the house. I washed my hair. I put cologne on. I put this outfit on. I feel good. Another one too, I brushed my teeth. Be ready, be fresh. And if you are ready and fresh, you give that painting the best chance of being something special. And when people are like, that doesn't matter, I'm like, maybe it doesn't for you. But for me, I can't stand here in spaghetti stains and fat pants and pretend like I'm taking myself or the picture I'm trying to make seriously. I need to stand here ready to go. So, dress smart, paint smart. We used to do the same thing with riding horses. You can ride horses in messy old jeans and messy old t-shirts and things like this, but actually, if you dress smart, you'll ride smart, because you actually felt the part and you respected yourself. So that is a compelling psychological reason for workplace dress standards and things like that. It all comes not specifically from the prisoner experiment, but that thread of psychology of dressing and then psychologically feeling more at place, more purposeful, more like you belong. This is real stuff, guys. I dress in my corporate outfits even when I'm working from home. It gets me in the zone. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Ash, you absolute legend. And Luke, you like the idea? True story. Ash, to go on from that point there, have you ever tried to sit down at home? Has anyone sat down at home and tried to do your emails in the morning, wearing your jockeys topless with a coffee? For some reason, you just end up getting nothing done. But if you wake up, get dressed, look the part, and sit down at your laptop, even though no one sees you, for some reason your emails are better, your head's in the right space, and you do a better job overall. Truly wild. Truly wild. It shouldn't matter. It does. A shower's good. A shower's key. A shower's key. You can stand in front of your work and wonder what's wrong. You're probably dirty. Your breath probably smells bad. Your hair's unwashed. You're in no condition to make something special. You could say, well, Van Gogh didn't dress well. He's known for having bad breath and unkempt hair and smelling bad. Van Gogh had his quirks, definitely, definitely. But also, if you look at his self-portraits, his minimum standard of dress is much higher than what we consider a minimum standard of dress today. Van Gogh wasn't walking out in his undies, in a dressing gown, with paint all over himself. He was walking out in standard dress for the time, which is probably to a par or better than what I'm wearing right now. That being said, I've been told he needs to brush his teeth. How boring not to have quirks. It's the 21st century, guys. 21st century, and I don't know when it happened, but crazy became the new cool. If you're not crazy, you're boring. If you're not crazy, more than that, you're not just boring, you're weird. In the 21st century, at some point in the last 24 years, it became an expectation that anyone who was sane or real was also crazy. And anyone who's not crazy, I've never seen a bigger red flag than someone who acts like they're not crazy, thinks they're not crazy, and seems like they're not crazy. I don't know, I think that's someone so close to a mental breakdown that you need to run in the other direction as fast as humanly possible. That's what I reckon anyway. I'm getting Canadian waterfall forest vibes from your painting. I like that. It's early days, but it's going to be a tiger. Do you have tigers in Canada? I think they're more of an Indian thing, aren't they? But it's a tiger in the jungle. That being said, there's no reason why you can't see in the chaotic layers that we're adding a bit of your home. It's pretty cool. It's getting warmer out here too. I like that. Good stuff. You live in New Zealand? Well, welcome to more of New Zealand. It's lovely to have you. Hope you're enjoying yourself here. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Naughty sandfly just bit my forehead. Here we are. Problemos. Can I have that painting? That is a lovely thing to ask, BPM Snort, but I'm not sure yet. At the start of this one being finished, I might add it to my own collection, but there will be prints available, so there will be that there too. Thanks, Raywin, and thanks for the follow, you absolute champion. What's your background, Seb? Are you English? I am Kiwi. I am Kiwi. So 5 generations ago, my ancestors, John Gower, written down on the boat, formed as agriculture, which meant he was a farmer, left Cornwall, somewhere in England, came to New Zealand on the good ship Bolton. It was called the good ship because half the ships, or a third of the ships, didn't make it. When we arrived here in New Zealand, he became a farmer back in, I think it was 18-something. And then 5 generations later, my father had me. My mother had me with my father's help. And I became the first generation. My father first. I'm the second generation not to be a farmer. We started off as farmers, but then we actually still have a few little bits and pieces. We've got sheep, cows, a little bit of farmland, a couple of fences here and there, but not proper farming, just fun farming. And so my origins as a kid, when I was born, in my early years, it was on a farm. And I think that influences a lot of my approach with different things. Like this here. This is a fence post. It's holding up my painting gear. Ship it to Tauranga, please. You know, Tauranga is my home. Well, Auckland's my home. Tauranga was my home before Auckland. I love Tauranga. God bless you, talented gifted. Keep up the good work, brother. I'd buy the painting. Oh, thank you so much, Cookie. I appreciate you being here. You absolute legend. You know, you could have popped in and given a few likes and then raced off on your day to somewhere else in this big old wild world. But you stayed here, you wrote that out, and you've made my day. So I appreciate you coming in here and doing that, you legend. We're going to add a bit of brown to this. Burn sienna. Just like that. Oh, cheers, Mike. I appreciate that. Do my best. It looks like something from Narnia. I like that vibe. I like that vibe. And BPM Snort, I look forward to your message. We'll talk more. We'll definitely talk more. Coming back from the Philippines. Oh, you're coming back from the Philippines. That's fun. That's fun. BPM, I'll say this, don't commit to buying the painting until you see the end result. Your feelings might change. So you may still love it. You may still completely love it, but give that painting a chance to grow. Sculpted by Jaden, I appreciate that. Kia ora from Hamilton. You know, my first date with my partner, first real date, was at the Hamilton Casino. we went out and we had panhead superchargers. I would have preferred a Steinlager Classic, but she likes that craft beer flavour, and so we got panhead superchargers, and that's now our beer. So ever since then I've been smashing panhead superchargers, and I always wished I could go back to that first date and say, no, darling, 2 Steinlager Classics, please. Unfortunately, it was not to be. And now the beer of our relationship's panhead supercharger. So life goes in funny ways. It was so close to being Steinlager Classic. It was so close, Jaden. This beach does not have seagulls, no. And PBM, I wish there was art available here in New Zealand, but there is currently not. It's in private collections all over the world, and the only 3 pieces that are not in private collections, technically not in private collections, are the 3 that I have at my home, that I keep for me and my family. Recreate that first date, yeah, recreate it, go back, reset. Honestly, I like it being panhead supercharger. I kind of like not getting what I expect I wanted. It's an okay beer. Bless me, team. G'day, Steve. Welcome on in, you absolute champion. Steve, it was a cold night last night, and your blanket did Cooper a lot of justice. So thank you very much for that. The dynamic of the relationship was set out with that first drink of choice. You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We are more of a panhead supercharger kind of couple. We're definitely a panhead supercharger couple over a Steinlager Classic couple, so maybe it's good that I didn't get what I wanted. Jeepers creepers, guys. Are you watching me scratch my head? Are you watching that happen? Sandfly literally just bit the top of my head. Now I'm spraying bug spray into my head. This is the wilderness here, guys. I'm battling sandflies off to make this happen. We're at war right here against insects. You guys over there in America and Canada with your bears, with your coyotes and your mountain lions, you guys don't know anything. You can see those things coming. Sandfly, they'll just outright bite you. That's what we have here in New Zealand. You should feel sympathy for us in our wilderness. It's dangerous out here. But I remember we were in the wilderness in the Smoky Mountains, a few of us with a camper van, and the lady was so excited to see some New Zealanders there, and we were walking around the store and she was talking to a bunch of us. She's a lovely old lady. And anyway, another guy walked into the store, a big tough fella, tall burly man, and he was clearly a local, but she confused him as part of our little outgoing little New Zealand troop. And when he came to the counter, he put down, I don't know what he was buying, probably like 3 beer traps and 2 bottles of whiskey. And he puts it on the counter and she says, "Oh, have you seen any beers today?" And he's like, "All the time." She's like, "Oh, you're not with the Kiwis, okay. Well, let's just cash you out, there we go." And it was just so funny because we were really excited that we saw a baby black bear. And we were like, "Oh, we've seen a black bear. It was rolling around having a great time, and that was really fun. You know, we don't have bears anywhere in New Zealand, so that was a unique experience for us." And then this big burly guy, who's probably, you know, he fought 2 bears this morning. He's wrestling 3 more in the afternoon. Goes up to buy his stuff all the time. Anyway. What do you do? What do you do? think I've followed sandfly conversation. But they are biting, guys. I'm sprayed, but they are having a go. Navy Parade, that pine tree in the background. I mean, possibly. I'm gonna guess that beach is Ruamati Beach on the Kapiti coast. No, it's not. But I like to guess. It's North Auckland. You wouldn't guess it, North Auckland. A little bit of red through that brown. Hands above my head. You know, no one asked me to say this, but Lady Gaga writes a good song. You've got to love a Lady Gaga song. Mary Love, thank you very much. It's lovely to have you here. Shout out to Wellington City and your lovely cafe, Lafare, who used to make amazing coffee, probably still do. Last time I went there, they had more of a reputation for the smoothies they were making. I'm just gutted that I wasn't drinking short blacks when I used to live in Wellington, because Wellington's the place to drink good coffee. Out of everywhere in New Zealand, Wellington is really thrives on good coffee. So I think I missed an opportunity there. Maybe I'll get it back. Maybe when me and Shelby are looking at, we're going to start off, like, you know, we've already started a family, but we will move to raise our children. I'll be like, well, how about Wellington? She'll be like, well, why Wellington? We've got no family there and it's 6 hours away from anything. I'll be like, yeah, but the coffee's good. It's a good reason to go somewhere, right? It's a valid reason to uproot an entire family and move away from everything you've ever known and loved. Good coffee, come on. Kia mai. No, I make pretty good coffee by myself. I've got a coffee machine. Its button's a little bit broken. If anyone here's a Sparky, I could use your help. the on-off button. It's a little bit finicky, but it's a good espresso machine, and it makes an absolute banger cup of coffee once you get the hang of it. You know you've hit your 30s though, when you start talking about your coffee machine being like, oh, you just need to get the exact right tweak on it. Like, I didn't care about that in my 20s. I think I see those memes where they say you develop your whole personality when you hit 30 around craft beer, World War II history, gaming, or sports. And I'm like, did I do that with art and coffee? Am I that basic now? Maybe. Maybe. Is that a tiger? You're talking about the artwork, you're talking about me. I'm a little bit of a tiger. I'm not. I'd be a peacock crossed with a golden retriever. It is a tiger though. It's in here, subtly blending into the landscape of this forest here. And the forest canopy down below with the light coming through the trees. That's the go. I know I'm getting older when I taste when you taste when you brew your coffee. Yeah, I suppose so. I went through a really weird journey with coffee. I thought, because my parents had very high expectations on their coffee, and so I thought to get around that, I was just going to drink black coffee. And then if someone brought me out a cappuccino, a latte, a mochaccino, or espresso macchiato, whatever, I'd be happy. Because I drink black and so everything else is fine. I prefer milk, but everything else was fine. And this was my solution to never becoming a coffee snob. Well, it backfired. It backfired because since I was drinking the dirtiest, cheapest, instant coffee black that I could get, I started to learn what bad coffee tasted like. And then I could then distinguish between good coffee and bad coffee. And now all of a sudden, not only do I love a short black coffee, but I can taste every aroma, note, burn, done right, over-extracted, under-extracted, water not hot enough, water too hot, put into a cold cup, put into a hot cup. I became the very thing I sought to destroy. I am the Anakin Skywalker of black coffee. I ruined it for myself. In my conquest to not be the problem, I became it. I just want to apologise to everyone, including my past self, for how wrong I was. Except Anakin gets a big redemption scene. I can't go back. My taste buds now are what they are. I wonder if Anakin Skywalker ever sat there in his chair as Darth Vader. Like I sit there in the morning with my black coffee that I'm not fully happy with. And I'm like, well, this is me now. Maybe. Maybe. I've got another question for you too. Do you believe that when Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader, he was on the Death Star all the time? Now, bear with me here. I want you to put yourself in Anakin's shoes. Imagine you have the same reputation as Anakin Skywalker, you know, Darth Vader, and there's a bunch of stormtroopers around. Now, also remember that these stormtroopers would have really bad stories, okay, because they're all the same dude as a clone. So the cafeteria, I'm sure the Death Star has a cafeteria, would just have the same dude, sharing the same stories. And if it wasn't the same story, it would only be about the most recent mission, in which case every stormtrooper would have a slightly deviating story about the same thing. It would be incredibly boring. So, did that, on top of the fact that he's Darth Vader and maybe he doesn't like to hang out with people, he's quite, you know, insecure about what he's done and things. Do you think Darth Vader, he's got three options. Does he go down to the cafeteria? And if he does he sit with people by himself? Does he take his meal, his food, to his room? Because he's still biological, he's still human in that form. Does he take the meal to his room? Or does he like get a packed lunch, and that's why he's always in like one of those little pods flying around the battles? Because actually he goes out in that to have his lunch in privacy. And you're like, why is Darth Vader out in a shooting ship? Well, he went to the small ship because he was hungry and needed a lunch break. I think he gets embarrassed ordering the food to his room. I think he sneaks into the cafeteria before or after meal times and then gets the food and puts it in a ship. And if he had coffee, Marty's on option 3, I like that. And if he had coffee, because surely he does, because the Death Star's a big corporation, and he's the operations manager basically, and that's a stressful role. And he came into it with very low experience. I think you could say that he, what do you call it when you change jobs horizontally? He was in a very different organisation, almost like a non-profit peace organisation, and now he's moved into a heavily for-profit, heavily corporate, working body where he's the ops manager. I think it's fair to say he's become a coffee drinker. So when does he drink his coffee? He can probably have it as soon as he wakes up, because on the Death Star there'd be no circadian rhythms. Lateral, yes, Mike, that's exactly. You are on fire with your terminology today. He's made a lateral move to Death Star Incorporated, and I reckon he's a. No, I've got it. I reckon he's had some awkward moments. See, his body's a little bit broken. I reckon he was a cappuccino guy. A mochaccino is Anakin, but he dropped the hot chocolates. Now he doesn't feel like he deserves it as a supervillain. So he has just the cappuccino, but he's had to cut the milk out of it because now that his body doesn't work so well, it doesn't handle lactose. So he's had a couple of awkward incidences on the Death Star to the point that he's now just having. I know what he does. He has a, what are they called? Sacha Baron Cohen is drinking one in Talladega Nights when Ricky Bobby bumps into his car. You spilt my, is it a macchiato? It's a macchiato. A macchiato. That's when you get the double shot of coffee, with a tiny bit of hot water, and then you get a little bit of cream on top. Because although he's evil, I think Anakin still likes to spoil himself. I think he has one macchiato in the morning. That's my guess. How'd I do? Hello from Africa, Devon. 1 a.m. Devon. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, boy. Otherwise you'll enter your mid-30s with giant wrinkles under your eyes. Can't have that. Never, ever underestimate the power behind a good night's sleep. Hello to Norway, welcome on in. The way you make coffee interesting. It is interesting though. It's a drug, we all consume it, we normalise it, and we all take it differently. That's kind of fun. Short black, myself. Alright. It's the So we've had some fun with our reds. I'm going to dive on into my oranges and my yellows and go from there. You need more coffee right now? Well, coffee's like people. It's worth waiting for the good ones. Because if you decide you're going to go for a not so good one, first off, if you have a bad coffee, you regret it while you're drinking it because you know that now you can't get your hands on a good coffee. Sometimes it's better to have no coffee and wait for a good one. People are very similar to that. Think of like, if you're in a bad relationship, think of all the good relationships, all the possible good relationships, the people, the fantastic coffee that you're missing out on because the fantastic coffee you're missing out on because you settled for a bad one. Or one that's not quite your flavour. There's nothing wrong with a latte, but a latte is not my style. When I'm feeling really frisky though, really wild, I like to get the short black shot. And this is an uncommon one because coffee's a morning thing and whiskey's a night thing. But if you get the short black shot, and not a double shot, it's too much whiskey, just a single shot, so 15 mils, onto the coffee, double shot of coffee, single shot of whiskey, and that there is, forget the espresso martinis guys, this is a cowboy supercharger, and it is an absolute banger. But when you have it, it's an awkward time because it's coffee in the evening or it's whiskey in the morning. So there's not a good answer to this, but stop distracting me, I'm supposed to be painting. Stop getting me excited about cowboy superchargers. I came up with that name on the spot as well. That's a TM. Nah, I'm not cold. It's a lovely day. It's beautiful. The air is fresh. The air is oh so fresh. And we've got another. Oh, excuse me. I'm just cleaning the rid off the brush. Yeah, Jules. This is one thing that me and Jules have in common. Jules is a short black girl. I'm a short black guy, Jules is a short black girl. And once you start doing short blacks, you can't go back because now you're doing a drink which, when I have long blacks now, it doesn't cut the mustard. It just doesn't cut it. It just doesn't cut it. I need that intensity. I prefer it short and intense than just long and drawn out. You get like 3 or 4 sips and then it's gone. So you've got to use that time to really appreciate and sit with it. Christian, let me know updates, please. EDM updates. Okay, we just did reds. We moved into blues, and then with blues we added a bit of white into the blue and spliced it across a bit of a larger spectrum of tones. And now I've got 2 shades of yellow. One's Indian yellow and one's permanent yellow hue. And the plan is to get a few of the little highlighted spots before we might dance across into a bit of white on this palette. In fact, I'm glad we talked. I'm going to get some white now. There we go. But I know what you meant. I will send you updates, I promise. It's funny you say that, Chuck. Chuck a little whiskey in there and the art gets wild. You can. It does change the art, but if you want to make art and be consistent with it, you don't want to use, I mean, I like coffee, I love caffeine, but if you're going to make art and be consistent with it, you don't want to use anything like drugs. There's been a glorification of them in the history of it because, you know, artists and creators will use it, but to make art that's from the heart, your heart doesn't have to speak through an altered state. You just need to try and be honest with it. And these things allow you to loosen up, I get that, but you can also loosen up without it. once you start to understand that it's actually an insecurity that you've got, that you need it to create, then your mind does everything it can to try and overcome it. Because your mind doesn't like things being in control of it, and once it realizes that actually that is a form of control, you'll start fighting back. I can see little sandflies flying around everywhere. Either they like the paint or they smell me. I think they smell me. These sandflies know something's up. Roller, welcome on in. Hope you're healthy, even. Mike, you've been in here a while, Mike. I appreciate that. You look after yourself. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Happy painting. You bet. You bet. I think we've got another. Let me just check our little schedule here. Yeah, we got another. Probably 9 till 12. We've got another hour. So we'll be here a little bit longer. Look after yourself, Mike. Catch ya. We should collab. I'll dance in the background while you paint. Can you dance for 3 hours, Sarah? If so, I love it. 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 Sarah's like, ooh, can you finish painting in 10 minutes? You get one song to finish a painting. Sarah's like, I've got a great routine planned out to ever. How fast can you finish a painting? Change your mind. I'm the first in line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me. You know, that song's quite funny because it's sung by ABBA. It's the equivalent to Jesse's Girl. That song, Jesse's Girl, he's like, he's singing about his best friend's girlfriend and how he's really into her. His best friend probably goes to his concerts and he's like at the back supporting his best mate and whatnot, and then they're like, we've got this new song called Jesse's Girl, and Jesse's like, oh cool, my girlfriend's called Jessie, and he's listening, he's like, hey, in the same way, that ABBA song, there's a girl who's with the guy she's singing about who'll hear that song being like, hey, back off, like, quite forward. Quite forward. Hi Seb, you found it. You did. You found this little stream. Good to have you here. Hi Adam. Ti amor. Ti amor. Kia ora, Jazzy. Welcome on in. Sarah's like, I can do it. I can do it. Just sign me up. I'll dance. I'll dance for 3 hours. I'll make it happen. Well, you know what, Sarah? I like your attitude. It's a winner's attitude. It's a dance for 3 hours. Reminds me of that song. How it goes. Take your baby by the hand. And I dance all day. Where are the bangers like they used to make? Where are they? With breaks in between. I like your style. You don't need to take them, but if you preempt them, it's good fail safe. It's good fail safe. And I don't. I dance all day. You're my favourite TikTok live supporting a fellow Kiwi. Sarah, thank you so much. It is an absolute delight to have you here. You absolute champion. And Chuck, I think the 80s, I agree with Freddie Mercury. There's something special in the 80s. Before we had a lot of technology helping us with music, there's something raw about that period. There's something golden and special. Like you hear Billy Ocean, that song "Baby, Love Really Hurts Without You," and if you don't start jigging to it, like, I don't think we can get along. That sort of song. I feel like songs today, you're like, yeah, that's cool, I like that beat. And songs of the 80s, they come on like at a restaurant or something, like an old-fashioned meat and two-veg restaurant, and you just start bobbing side to side, like you just can't help it. Baby, love really hurts without you. You know, there's a million examples of that, and I think that's the 80s. 70s, I don't think the recording equipment does that period justice, but I think in the 80s you get something really special. And then in the 90s and 2000s, I think they're still, like, we've still got champions all through that period. Like, yeah, I mean, I grew up with a Ricky Martin CD. He's 90s and early 2000s. But there's the 80s, you know. Oh God. So what's that? Everyone's a winner, baby. Oh my God. I'm going down the rabbit hole now, guys. I'm gonna stop right there, but the 80s, baby. The 80s. The 80s was a good era. Yeah, you had to have talent back then. Now you need a good computer. Look, I think there's still. I don't think that's quite fair. I say that because think about it in terms of art. Now that we're making pictures on tablets, we wouldn't say the ones who are making art on tablets aren't artists, and we wouldn't say the ones that are painting, like we're doing here, are real artists. Everyone's an artist. The form it's taking is just changing here and there. And I think the same's happening in music, whereas music's ahead of painting in that sense, but the use of a computer doesn't make a musician any less of a musician than it does an artist using a tablet. It doesn't make them less of an artist. It makes them innovative, if anything. But I think the beauty of the 80s wasn't that it was, I think it was the limitation that they were working within that made them exacerbate something quite unique and pure. And I think if you put them in today's world, they wouldn't force themselves into the same level of limitation. They'd expand. I'd like to hear Billy Ocean 2024 version with a laptop and a film, you know, and a crew and things like that. But I think in some ways it's cool that we don't get that. But we'll forevermore have the recording of Billy Ocean to appreciate. That's fun. Tofu's is just coming in for the 70s. Oh yeah, Ricky Martin, loved him. He was a massive influence. Like when I was in my early teens, he had that album where he had the short hair, it's like to the side, it was like, it just said Ricky Martin across the bottom. This was the music we grew up with. That's where that was the first CD that came out besides me listening to punk rock, where I was actually, Green Day and Simple Plan, where I was like, oh, this is dance music. And the first person I ever saw dance, because you didn't have the YouTube videos back then, so the first person I ever saw, like, sing and dance to a Ricky Martin CD was Donkey from Shrek, when he goes, Puss and Donkey, y'all, and then he starts jigging down with Puss in Boots. Of course, that was Eddie Murphy singing it rather than Ricky Martin's song. So, because we didn't have video, so where else were we supposed to hear it? See it? Concerts? It's too young for concerts. Besides, I was busy painting. I was busy running around the art department, making art. Doing exactly what I was doing now, but inside. Younger, quieter, more shy. Oh, how the world changes. In the good ways, though. That's the cool thing about music and art, though. It's kind of forever. We can still pull out, even when we're 70, a Ricky Martin or a Billy Ocean CD and listen to it and feel the same joy we felt when we first listened to it at the age of 13. And that's something really special. Did he just do a movie, or is that the series? Palm Springs. Really cool, guys. That series, for interest's sake, has a fascinating element to it in the cinematography, where all the scenes are actually really artistically laid out. So if you haven't seen it yet, if you do end up watching Ricky Martin's Palm Springs, look at every shot, and you can even pause on them and be like, that's a work of art. It's the curtains in their old Art Deco style will be like green, and the compositional elements within the scene, you'll be like, it's a picture. You could hang that on a museum wall. A lot of the shots within Palm Springs could be taken as stills and hung on walls, and that's really, really fun. So whoever was directing the show and going through the slide scene by scene, it's carefully and meticulously planned out. Taylor, favourite movie, you'll watch it tonight. I had a couple of favourite movies. It's not fair to just elect one, but can I give you a short list and then you'll have some choice? Would that be fun? So, I think Joe Dirt is a great film. It's about a guy who's unflatteredly positive, and he never gives up. And in the end, he gets everything he needs. Joe Dirt. And then Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda is an animated film voiced by Jack Black, and that's a movie about a panda who feels like he can't, he has these big dreams and he loves Kung Fu, and he sees everyone else out there and he thinks they're great because there's a secret ingredient that he doesn't have. And in his character arc and trajectory, he realizes that actually the secret ingredient is nothing. And to be special, you just have to believe it is. And I think that's really, really important, because that tells us more about ourselves. A lot of the time, the reason we don't feel special is because we've told ourselves in front of the mirror, in the shower, and out there in the world, quietly inside our head, over and over again, you're not special, you're not special, you're not special. And so we became not special, but you are special. You are, especially to yourself. And who's that guy, the old YouTuber? Bo. Bo, I forget his last name, but Bo, he talks about love in a song, like comedically, but he says if you want to find love, then go and love someone. Because we have this weird audacity to feel like love should be something that when we see it, it should be everything we expect of it, and they should be perfect in all the different ways. To be perfect, your eyes need to see perfect. It's got nothing to do with them, actually. They don't need to be this or that. They don't need to be anything. Love's not conditional. To be perfect, to make you perfectly happy, your eyes need to see that. And so Kung Fu Panda teaches that moral. Love doesn't have a secret ingredient. Perfection doesn't have a secret ingredient. To think that almost makes it unfindable permanently. But that's kind of fun, because that means that in a small way, in some small way, out there in the Bo Burnham, that's the guy, thank you. In some small way, or in a big way, we can all find perfection. Kung Fu Panda is beautiful on that front. And then, last movie, so I'm giving you 3, it's going to be Joe Dirt. Oh no, sorry, not Joe Dirt. It's going to be Yes Man. Jim Carrey is a very melodramatic actor, and a lot of people don't like him for that. But did you know why he's a melodramatic actor? Why he behaves the way he does? Because if he's so outrageously crazy on set and melodramatic, then by doing so, he gives everyone else on the set and who watches the movie permission to be themselves. Because there's nothing you can do that would be more outrageous than what Jim Carrey just did. That's why everything he does is so dramatically big. And that, as a method, is brilliant. By his acting, he's allowing you to be whoever you want to be, because you'll never be seen as more crazy or more outlandish than Jim. That's a lovely shield that he gives you. A buffer, protection. And the reason why Yes Man is the movie I love so much is because I feel like we don't say yes enough. I feel like Yes Man, when it first came out, was a movie I watched, and it really resonated with me. It still does. How much more rich would our lives be? Figuratively rich would we be? How much more full would we feel? Just of love and zest for life. How much more would we have if we just said yes more often? I get it, no is an important word. We should say no. Absolutely we should say no. But we don't say yes enough. Because we typically say yes to the things we want, and sometimes we don't know what we want. And so I've got a really controversial opinion for you. A really controversial opinion. You should always give in to peer pressure. Let me explain. You choose your peers over the course of your life meticulously. People you love, people you respect, people you look up to. If you say you don't want to do it, and all your peers say you should do it, consider that in that moment, you might be the one who's wrong. And if it's something like jump off a high diving board, or something, if it's something dangerous or stupid, if it's something that you shouldn't actually do in hindsight, then I think the fault comes down to you need to choose better peers. But when all your peers say do this, that's something that should be listened to. And so peer pressure should be something that we actually are eager to give into. When all my friends and loved ones and family come to me and say, you need to do that, and I say, but I don't want to, I'm probably wrong. So, yes man. Sometimes the uncomfortable yes is the one that needs to be said. That's what I reckon. And Saridu, thank you so much. We try and build as much colour into these things as possible. I love colour. I absolutely love colour. Did you see the movie All of Us Strangers? I have not seen it. But honestly, yes man. Great movie. Absolutely great movie. Thank you. I'll see what I choose. Good for you, Taylor. Even if you don't choose those, don't worry. I won't be offended. I know they're a weird collection of movies, but I'm telling you. Yes Man's probably the best. Because through saying yes, you can discover the other two philosophies. But without the ability to say yes to really getting out there and enjoying life, it's such a cheesy line. Such a cheesy line, but without that, what is there? What is there? Sometimes it's not even a matter of saying yes. Sometimes it's a matter of saying just okay. Someone else will carry you through it. You just need to agree. Robert, I did not. Did not. A lot of bugs around, team. A lot of bugs. Are you near the ocean? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And Taylor, good for you. Enjoy Yes Man. I love the gloomy, calm willow there. Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to get that incredibly powerful sunlight cascading down onto us. And other times it's kind of nice. You get that lighter flavour there. It's that soft and gentle. You know, the paint doesn't dry as fast, but it's okay. We get to not cover ourselves in sunscreen and just be here enjoying day out in New Zealand. So is the weather in New Zealand right now, team. Mild, really mild, beautiful but mild. You want to have a little look-see? I'll show you around the beach. You ready? Don't freak out, you're about to spin. You ready to spin? Here's down the beach there, looking back towards Auckland. That's the waves down there. That was right up by our feet earlier. Right up by our feet. But now it's gently heading out. Keep spinning it with me. Here we go. And around. There's a peninsula that heads out that way. So, the peninsula out there, that's where I was nearby that, doing that really textured painting set. Way out there deep, and as the tide was coming in, I had to keep on bringing the easel closer and closer to the shore because the beaches here are very flat. show by spinning you around again. Thanks, Lakshmi. Good to have you. Lakshmi. The beaches here are very flat, and so when the tide comes in or goes out, it happens very suddenly once it starts, because since it's so flat, it literally, as it rises, covers the ground like that. That was a weak clip. Like that. So, here we're pretty safe though, up this high. We're pretty safe. And then down this side, the beach continues. Let's lift this up and go. Here we go. So, there's a little spot down there when it gets way too windy. I like to head down there just in front of those trees. It's got great reception, so you can do a live. You can get paint on your shirt. And it's just tucked away so the wind doesn't bother you too much. I love that spot. So, before, at the start of this live, if you've been around for that, I'm not sure if anyone was, but if you were around for the start of the live, you may have heard the crashing waves far more prominently. Well, now everything's settled down a bit because they're further away. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Jessica. You lovely individuals. At least it's not windy. Yeah, I brought the mic, but not Mike Batty. He was here too, but I brought the mic with me, but we don't need it today, so it's just in the bag. I feel like when I put the mic on, you can just hear my voice, but on a day like today, it's nice to be able to hear the waves. That fuzzy static, but not flat static, but changing fuzzy static. I like it. Yeah. Sheltered area. It's a rough day. That's where I like to perk myself. And plus there's posts, so I can put the plates on the posts, which is really fun. All right, let's continue. You know, this painting's actually come light years ahead of where it was at the start of the session. 3 hours goes a long way. So it's currently on 2.5 hours. Whereabouts? Al, welcome back. Welcome back. It's currently on about 2.5 hours. So, as we continue to add, it'll warm up. No, sorry, not 2.5 hours. The first session was 2 hours. This session's been 2.5 hours. We're on 4.5 hours. And I reckon we'll get to around 8 hours on this piece. Right. It all depends on how fast I can thread a needle. My great uncle would say, you'd ask him, how long is this? If the amount was always variable, he'd look at you and say, well, how long's a piece of string? Which is funny because that used to not annoy me, but you'd be like, oh, as a kid. And now, as I start pushing 31, I'll get these arbitrary questions from children. And my answer is, well, how long's a piece of string? Like, life does go in cycles. certainly does. You like the dark shades of black. I think we want to keep those too. There wants to be that level of contrast. I think that's the vibe behind a tiger's print. Contrast, key part of it. So I don't think we'll lose that. I think we'll maintain that. But within that contrast, it depends how many colours we can get, because we might need to allow a little bit of the contrast to slip in order to get that advancement in the colour palette that we're after. But like, this is all early days thinking. We've got 4 more hours. Plenty more time. Plenty more time. And 22,000 likes, guys. You absolute champions. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Jessica, I've been painting for a long time. Professional artist for 2 years though, so all social media, all website, everything like that started in 2022. Before that, I was private. It was all, you had to know somebody who knew somebody who knew me. But now I'm sharing. I think it can make the world a better place. I think art makes people happy. So here we are. But if you want more answers, which usually a good answer just gets a good answer should lead to more questions. But if you want more, jump on the link in my bio, Jessica, and there's a frequently asked questions page, and everything will be there for you. Everything you need. Nikki, when you paint me and send to me. When I paint you and send to you. It's a good question. I'm not sure I fully understand it, but I'm glad it got asked. When you paint me and send to me, well, there's a permission form on the website. That might help. As for when, there's no space for any new commissions this month. We've got a lovely couple portrait, 46 years. It's 46 years or 47 years. How dare I forget? And that's coming up in on the 26th. We have Rainbow Tiger, this one right here. And we have a colourful picture of a kiwi. So, we have some really fun things coming up on the go, which I'm excited for. I don't think we'll get it all done before the end of the month, but I think we can make a good start. I think Colourful Kiwi will push over. Definitely starting 46 years and finishing Rainbow Tiger are on the agenda for this month, 100%. Perfect, thank you. I'm keen to get better myself, and you're right that art makes the world better. Well, thanks, Jessica. Yeah, I think a lot of the time, art can seem like a selfish endeavour, and that's what pushed me away or made me private about it for such a long time. It took a lot of personal growth to come to the conclusion or realise that actually arts in general, but art, physical, visual art is so important. And I only realised that because when I had decided it was selfish, I ran from it a wee bit. And then after running from it, I wondered why I felt empty. And that's when I realised that I needed it. And once I realised I needed it, then I realised the value there was in it for everyone. Because I've never been without it. kind of like when you got a partner and you may appreciate them less than you should, and then when they're not there, you realize what you had, that kind of thing. That was me with art. And from then on, we went public. But there's also a thing that I've been talking with a few artists about, Jessica, and you might like to join. It hasn't started yet, so you haven't missed out on anything. But I was going to do a once a month. Tell me what you think about this, guys. We've got 71 people here. Once a month, I was going to have a Google Meet, so like a chat room, where there'd be the maximum number of people who can join is 200, so I think we've got plenty enough room. But basically, it would all come on, and you could have your camera off, you could have it on, you could have your sound off, you could have it on, probably off so there's not too many noises going on. But basically, we'd all jump on this call, and anyone, specifically for artists, we can all be there together, and it can be a chance to ask questions, it can be a chance to share, or just be there and doing your craft, to be a part of the space. Basically like a artist workshop is a great way to put it. So it wouldn't cost, it'd be entirely free, with the purpose of actually creating that connection with the creatives, because we're here in this space. This space involves art, but it's not specifically for creatives. This is for everyone. This is a space to share. This is a space for collectors, for creators, for regular people. I say regular people like artists are something special. This is a space for everyone. This is not a space that makes artists feel like they've got more of an opinion than someone else. But if we had a creative space, we could hone in on things specific for artists a lot more intensely. And even if that was necessary. So, yeah. And basically, it would probably just take the form. We'd keep it really simple. We could just have a sign up for it on the website. I've already got a license to Google to host meetings of 200 people. So I'm literally already paying for the software. So there's no cost in it whatsoever, since it's already bought and paid for. I just need to put a meeting time on, allow you guys to jump on in, and then yeah, we can just go for it. Mess it up, do it. Yeah, it would start really casually, Jessica and Sally. It would start really casually, no expectations, and then would allow it to grow and change organically. That would be the play. What are you saying, Sally? You're confusing me. I think I'm following. As in, like, do it? If you're saying mess it up in terms of the painting, some people would argue that the painting already is messed up. That it's an abundant, chaotic mess. And some people would argue that every stroke is intentionally placed and the whole work comes together almost like a sniper. Kinda is. This isn't machine gunning, guys. It's not all wild and crazy. Every piece is noticed here in the picture and the shapes then added, one after another. Shapes, strokes, tones and hues. And because of the medium, because of the rudimentary tool, it doesn't come out like a photo. It gets another unique sort of human expression element into it, which is fun. Ivan, we'll see you later. Look after yourself. Isn't there a part of you that wants to mess it up, Sally? And Jessica, oh right. I'll put some more serious thought into it, Jessica. Community's a good idea. Is there a part of me that wants to mess it up? I think your emotions change work to work. Is there a part of you that wants to mess this one up right now? Nah. Let me put it like this for you, Sally. When you say, is there a part of you that wants to mess up the painting you're currently working on, really splash painted it? If you were dancing with someone, waltzing with someone you loved, or waltzing with someone you liked even, or just waltzing with a stranger, tell me, as you're dancing, does the thought ever cross your mind just to punch them right in the jaw, really just slap them? That sounds insane. It doesn't cross your mind because you're dancing. If someone frustrates you, maybe these thoughts cross your mind. But if you are dancing and making a painting's very similar to doing a dance, you're here with a piece of artwork, you're standing beside it, and you're waltzing with it. So it shouldn't cross your mind to destroy the painting, punch, slap, ruin the painting. And if that does cross your mind, it's less of the painting's fault and more of your fault. That's the way I'd explain that. No, the only thing I want to do with this painting is keep dancing. Sally, I love you being here, but it sounds like you've got some things to work through. Warmth of this canopy coming down in here, just gently with these warmer tones. Lovely. Alright. Very, very gentle with this colour. Yellow's usually quite weak, but since it's going on a completely dry surface, it has that punch to it. I'm sorry, Sally. I think you're a fantastic individual. We like having you here. You're high energy. Higher energy than what we're used to. But we like having you here. I'm just kidding, I love you really. Thanks, Sally. I appreciate you. When a painting's not going your way, definitely don't destroy it or splash it up. Put it away. Give it some time to cool off and give you some time to cool off. You might come back around and see it again and actually realise with those kinder eyes that you were making something kind of special. But you don't give yourself that opportunity if in the heat of the moment you destroy it. So resist that temptation if you can. You're brilliant. Thanks, Sally. I appreciate that. Destroy it. So resist that temptation if you can. You're brilliant. Thanks, Sally. I appreciate that.